We've been reporting about Israel's agreement with Hamas to release at least 50 hostages being held captive. It comes with a ceasefire that's set to begin as soon as Friday. It will last at least 4 days, but could extend one extra day for every 10 hostages released after the initial 50. The Israeli government says Hamas took some 240 people when the group attacked last month. Bilal Saab joins me now. He is a senior fellow and director of the Defense and Security Program at the Middle East Institute. Bilal, thank you so much for joining us. This agreement proves that taking hostages during war essentially works, at least to some extent. What is the danger of that moving forward?
It's a pleasure to be with you. Thank you for having me. Look, democracies owe it to their citizens to do everything they can to ensure their safety and well-being. And that, if that includes negotiating with terrorists, then so be it. As you know, we paid a heavy price to release some of our own people from Iranian jails several times. But that is an obligation that we take very seriously, that Israel has to take very seriously because of domestic pressure and because of domestic political costs. It's an inevitable price, but it is the right thing to do.
Bilal, there was a reason Israel has refused to agree to a temporary ceasefire until now. Explain why and what kind of impact this ceasefire will have.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think we all expected that that would be the initial Israeli reaction. It was driven by a sense of vengeance, and it was in a state of shock. And so it was only understandable, perhaps not realistic, but understandable, that it would have maximalist objectives and that it would refuse to make any concessions. But then reality set in, and then this is where we are now. It was only a matter of time before the Israeli officials realized, of course, driven by public pressure, right? Because many of those families want their sons and daughters to be back home, that they were going to, at some point, open a bargaining space with Hamas. And this is where we are right now.
Well, over the next 4 or more days, what are the biggest potential pitfalls of this deal? And what happens if one side doesn't go through with it?
Yeah, certainly concerns, risks, just like any other prisoner swap. The initial concern of the Israelis was that this would provide Hamas some kind of a tactical advantage, that it would give them an opportunity to regroup, perhaps adjust their military positions, perhaps move some of their senior commanders, command and control centers, perhaps even outside the country or further south. All of those things are right now possible. But that is, once again, the price of having to ensure the safety and security of those hostages, not just Israeli, but other international hostages. It is good that we now have a bargaining space between the two. It gives them an opportunity to negotiate a more peaceful way out of this, but that doesn't mean that the military instrument is no longer relevant. They're both still going to use it to enhance their bargaining position. A ceasefire doesn't mean an end to this conflict.
If everything goes according to plan, what happens then at the end of the ceasefire?
Yeah, this is a good question. And I'm not sure we all know what the ultimate end state of Hamas is behind taking those hostages. I mean, they initially said that we want all of our Palestinian prisoners freed from Israeli jails. But now that they've gotten this major concession from the Israelis, you wonder if there's any kind of greed factoring into this equation. They might ask for more. I'm not sure what it's going to be, but it is not unreasonable to assume that Hamas might feel that it has gained some legitimacy, at least in the eyes of its own people, by releasing that many Palestinians from Israeli jails. They might ask for more humanitarian aid, which might actually help them also, in addition to Palestinian citizens. So, and we also do not know what kind of a position Hamas is militarily speaking. How much has Israel actually damaged his position thus far? If it is still intact, then you can expect more concessions that Hamas will ask for from the Israelis. If it is badly damaged, then this is where things might be a little bit more conciliatory on the part of Hamas. We just don't know these things, and it's very hard to have accurate information about that.
So many unanswered questions. Bilal Saab, thank you for your time.
It's my pleasure. Absolutely.